Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Tommy Nation Politics.
What's up guys, it's Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. Free-thinking, innovative, totally open-minded, new progressive media. This is your Tommy Nation Politics. Letting you guys know that I have a reaction. What do you think it's about? Come on, you guys know. I'm trying not to say too much more about this because Jamar and I are going to discuss it over his edition of his podcast called Unsavory Politics. But as we all know, guys, there was an indictment by the New York Grand Jury. The indictment, it was a long-expected but still stunning indictment on Donald J. Trump.
We are on top of breaking news. The Manhattan District Attorney confirming Donald Trump has been indicted by a grand jury over claims of hush money payments in 2016.
A live look right now at Mr. Trump's home at Mar-a-Lago. We haven't seen him publicly since this news broke just a short time ago.
That we welcome you to the Fox 11 News at 5. I'm Christine Devine.
I'm Alex Michelson. It is a historic day. For the first time ever, an indictment of a former president of the United States. Here's some video just into our newsroom. It shows the Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, leaving the courtroom. Bragg says he reached out to the former president's attorneys and asked for his surrender. All of this setting the stage for the first ever criminal prosecution of a former American president. That indictment is currently sealed, so the specific charges are not yet known. But the DA says prosecutors are now negotiating how and when Trump will surrender. This is the latest development in a years-long investigation by New York's Democratic DA Bragg into hush money payments made by Trump to adult film actress Stormy Daniels right before the 2016 campaign. Daniels says she had an affair with Trump. He has denied that. In fact, he's denied all wrongdoing. The former president, who of course is running to become the future president, releasing this statement today, saying in part, quote, "I believe this witch hunt will backfire massively on Joe Biden. The American people realize exactly what the radical left Democrats are doing here. Everyone can see it. So our movement and our party, united and strong, will first defeat Alvin Bragg, and then we will defeat Joe Biden. And we are going to throw every last one of these crooked Democrats out of office so we can make America great again." Here's Trump on camera a few hours ago on his Truth Social platform.
China, Russia, and Iran, not to mention North Korea and other countries, have placed the U.S. in a very bad and dangerous position. They are dividing up the world as we sit around and let them do it. They no longer respect the United States, but they will. Go out and vote. 2024, we have to win back the White House.
In New York, a few anti-Trump protesters unfurled a banner soon after that indictment was announced. These charges against former President Trump come 2 years after the Federal Election Commission dropped its case on the same issue. Stormy Daniels' attorney, Clark Brewster, putting out this statement, quote, "The indictment of Donald Trump is no cause for joy. The hard work and conscientiousness of the grand jurors must now be respected. Let truth and justice prevail. No one is above the law."
Very stunning, guys. For once in my lifetime, an elite is actually going to be held accountable for his crimes, his actions. So conservatives don't really know much of what's going on. I checked in with all the conservatives trying to get their reaction on these things. So much of what I've surmised is that they've really just gone off the deep end with the distracting from the actual point of the indictment. His crimes, being his crimes. You know, guys, people get indicted every day. Do you know what an indictment is, guys? Maybe you guys don't know what an indictment is. First, guys, we have to go back and we have to define some things because, as you know, conservatives call everything socialism and communism, and they don't really know exactly what words mean. They just use them according to their alpha's definitions.
An indictment is a formal accusation charging you with a crime. Just because you've been arrested for an offense doesn't mean you've been formally charged. An indictment is a formal charging instrument returned by a grand jury finding that there's probable cause that you committed an offense. And in federal court, as well in the state of Texas, usually all felony offenses must be charged by an indictment. An indictment is basically a piece of paper that gives the person who's been charged with a crime information telling them what type of offense they've been charged with and also the penalties that they may face as a result of that. Also, you should know that an indictment is not any evidence of a guilt and couldn't be used by a jury at your trial as evidence of guilt. It's simply a charging instrument to put you on notice of what the government is saying you did to violate the law.
So indictment, the legal term, it's a formal accusation. It's just a formal accusation of a felony or misdemeanor. So for instance, if you were drunk driving, you'd be brought before a magistrate and he would be telling you the nature of your crimes. He would give you a formal accusation, ask you how you would plead, guilty or not guilty. It's not so much an arrest because nobody reads you your Miranda rights. There could be an arrest in this case. However, Trump being an elite, Alvin Bragg, the New York district attorney, negotiated with his lawyers a surrender time. So unlike everyone else in this country, elites like Donald Trump don't get handcuffed and they don't become arrested. They merely get to negotiate the time of their surrender. So that's just one fucking interesting thing with two tiers of justice we have in this country. It's supposed to be blind justice and everyone equality under the law, that all men are created equal, as the Constitution says. This concept of Trump being indicted is actually something that's it's been long since. He did the crime. Let's just put it in perspective. Now, of course, the conservatives don't want to realize or they don't want to even imagine what the crime was. They think, and I'm going off of Glenn Beck here because he was on Tucker Carlson the other day talking about what he thinks this indictment means. Check him out. This indictment means this!
We have the banking crisis. They say it's fine. It's just beginning. Yesterday, we had the Saudis and Brazil and China enter a deal to where the petrodollar is over. Brazil and China are going to trade in their own currency. That's the beginning of the end of our currency. That means a dollar collapse. That means we become Venezuela.
So they're acknowledging that socialism isn't what caused the dollar collapse. They're acknowledging that our money, that our monetary, our money is not backed by anything, because Reagan took us off the gold standard. And since these countries are getting together without our knowledge or supervision,
I don't know what they're going to blame.
These countries are now going to cause the fall of the dollar because they no longer rely on us and our liberal New World Order, as Joe Biden put it.
Legal services.
So their institutions, these conservatives,
his business
can't deal with also the fact while their alpha is being indicted,
was it written in
formally accused of a crime, they also can't deal with the fact that their institutions have long since crumbled underneath.
He wrote in his taxes.
And I don't know what they're going to blame for this, but let's find out.
He wrote about Michael Cohen, legal services. That money was given to Stormy
War!
So she wouldn't talk about
War! I tell you!
With Donald Trump and Melania Trump. While she was pregnant. Now, of course, having an affair isn't illegal on its own, guys. But when you take money out of your business, I call it legal services, and then you lie, and you get this prostitute.
So all of these things are happening in correlation with this indictment, which has been long since sought after, because,
and a touch payment.
Guys, let me just give the breakdown to you.
Business ledgers.
Trump,
it's falsifying.
He wrote a check
ledgers
to his lawyer, Michael Cohen, for legal services.
And that's a crime. It's a felony.
Legal services. Out of his business, his business fund, his business account.
I don't really know what these
other money for legal services
with it. I don't know what the
was written in his taxes.
Dogs have to do with it, like always.
But he wrote that money in his
taxes. Are grabbing at straws, trying to distract from the fact they're alpha.
And he wrote about Michael Cohen, legal services. That money was given to Stormy Daniels
salesman
for payments, so she wouldn't talk about how